To another Steel Play of Final Fantasy VII, the Intergrade on PlayStation 5, as we take on the hard mode for the 13th chapter of the game, Broken World. Enjoy the opening cutscene, as we will delve into unknown territory that we I can explain it to you later, I guess. But more or less, this content wasn't really in the original game. It was, but it wasn't. Not in this sense. In other words, the events that happen here are sort of a mishmash of things that happened later on in the original game that sort of got placed into the story earlier on into the main game in the remake. If that makes sense. Like, they used elements of the missing soldier that, fell off the mountain in Mount Nebel for the inspiration behind Wedge falling, down below the rubble. And that's just a fact, by the way. And then there's also other supporting theories about the Materia Keeper and just the whole... It would take a long time to explain it, but this is the equivalence of what Mount Nebel's flashback was, but apparently that's still going to be alive and well in the rebirth, so I don't know, I'll see where it goes, but I do know that at this point in the game we do undertake a mission very similar to that of which was our flashback to Nibelheim in the original game. Serving as that, I guess, more or less. But this time around, it's to rescue Wedge. As apparently he may, in fact, still be alive. And this was not in the original script, but alas, it has made its way through to the final script. In the remake, that is. Integrated. And like I said, I think this is going to be a really, really good, game. I think this is going to be Final Fantasy VII, man. This is going to be it. I mean, this is, no offense, but this is going to be, like, just as good as FF7-1 was. This is going to be the shit, man. I mean, I already seen Rebirth, and if Rebirth and Resonance is going to be anything like this, if they do it, remake, Rebirth, and Resonance, then, and they do the 3, which I think they're gonna do. I don't know if it's gonna be Resonance, but it might be, might not be. But I heard theories about that. Final Fantasy VII Resonance. After Rebirth, though, that is. If they do it right, and they follow the structure like the way they did this game here, I mean, I think the game's gonna be perfect. You just gotta play it right, that's all. They got the story, I mean, the story is there, like, look, it's a great story. It's just... It was better than that of even the first one. That's what I mean. That the story proceeds out of the first because of the attention on detail. See? The repercussions of our actions and the lore and the authenticity of the characters and, like reason, meaning. See? It's giving it definition, emotion, depth. Humanism. See? How she clenches her fist. They couldn't do that. They have voice acting now and all of this that they could do nowadays. See, don't lose that pain, that anger, that hate. Hold on to that.
Hold on to this anger.
This hate. Huh. How did she beat Barrett? You know, how did Tifa beat Barrett? I wonder.
Eileen's fine.
We don't know for sure, but we have an idea.
Meredith. Is that the girl they took?
Yeah. That's her.
What the hell's going on?
I asked Eric to find Marlene and take her somewhere safe.
He's like, what the fuck is going on here?
And she did? You sure? Hey,
Alright,
where you
alright,
going?
alright. Yikes. Now we got a group of 3 here. Well, we're gonna be encounter-wise, I don't think we're gonna be worrying too much, but let's stick with the basics. Elemental, fire, typical build loadout. Enemy skill, HP absorb, healing, and revival is usually good. And we're working on a revival as we speak. We're kinda good to go then. And since the game is very faithful to, like, you know,
How could this happen?
the original game, you know, battle system wise, other than it being in real time, it really is the same system. So it really doesn't stray too far from the game's original combat design. Especially in the materia department, like.
I said, where you going?
I always loved Midgard because of the scope of it. It's so big, it's like the universe, like it's so huge. It's such a big place. And it's got lights and stuff, and it's like similar to the stars, like of the universe, like the solar system. It's very similar. 8 pieces. It's just weird. One place hangs in the void, just like Sector 6 is like collapsed. It's weird. Very similar to the solar system. Because there's one point of the solar system that's made up of the void, and then another point where the Big Bang originated, so it's weird. There's a lot of commonalities between the two.
Meant to be the original steward to the planet. Would even commune with him, talk to him and stuff.
Yep.
That must be why
The people that were here before us, the people that lived on Mars, I guess, or that left remnants of their civilization on Mars, that is. But we don't really know if they lived on Mars or if that was just what was left of them. Or what was the apex of their civilization? We don't know. But Mars did have life on it at one point, or it attempted, but it failed. And so it attempted again when the Earth moved into its planetary shift, into a terraforming, and moved into a different atmosphere. I think it shifted into a different planetary atmosphere. And thus Earth became habitable, and Mars became frozen. Jupiter, well, that's sort of like the biggest magnet in the middle of the motherfucking void, blocking everything away, you know? That's the way I look at it. You know, you got like Saturn and Jupiter, they're sort of like, well, I mean, like, the way I look at the solar atlas is like, well, you have the sun, Sol, right? And then from there, if it was on an atlas mapped, it would be like flat, so I would have to say, if you mapped it out, geography, it would have to be Sol, be the centered point from a resonant point, right? Then we'd move out further from the Sol, pointing outward, I guess, the ripple of everything that came from the Big Bang outward to the fissure continues to extend. So it's kind of complicated, but let's just say next to the Sol you have Mars to one side, you have Jupiter next to the other side, and your Jupiter is also a shitload of other debris and rocks and shit like that that's coming in and out, because Jupiter is like a big ass magnet, kind of. And then further down you have Earth, Gaia, and then a big motherfucking moon, like a really big moon. And then beyond that you have dark matter that is accumulating with the gas giants of Pluto's, which is in the southernmost part, you know, the deepest reaches of space, which is closest to the void, not the ultra red light of the Big Bang. There's a fissure and then there's a void, but fissure is where everything began, I guess. But that's light years away. We can't even see that. Void is sort of like the dark matter is sort of gonna hopefully prevent life from, or whatever, recollapsing on itself, but it's very complicated. Just think of it Mars, or as I say, Marsh, the marsh, which is the original place of origin. That's where that's where life was supposed to really develop, in Mars. At least the universe, that was its intention. Life is supposed to thrive on Mars. The marsh of the universe, well, the Milky Way. And then you have the soul of the Milky Way. And then of course you have Venus and Terra. One is made up of complete and total Earth. The other one is made up of complete and total water. And then you have Jupiter, which is like a gigantic magnet. It's a big fucking ball of magnet. It's a big magnetic ball. And it caused alignment shifting, which caused terraforming, right? Planetary shifting, and it actually saved the Earth many times, actually. It was a miracle, I guess, if not for it. But realistically, Jupiter, right next to it, is, like I said, that fissure where everything began, and continues to spit out all of the debris or the hot air that we throw in is sort of coming out, and it's what's making space expand, and it's complex, but more or less is all there is, a hole in space. And the ultra red light at the fissure has reflections on it that go back all the way, like almost 400,000 years into the future and into the past. Well, I mean, they're from the past, but they also reflect 475,000, I think 375,000 years into the future. Their light reflects. It's fucking nuts, but space is nuts. It's a fucking crazy place, man. In fact, they say that all life is created through the recycling of the past that wasn't used in the present.
Just focus on seeing Marlene again. Nothing else.
So everything that we forget, basically. all the hot air. More or less. But I'm focusing too much on the planetary atlas, but that's for you to figure out. I just know our universe is decaying and it's not good. It may collapse on itself if the dark matter doesn't prove to, I don't know, it doesn't look good though. It looks like the universe is doomed to either be in an eternal, like, endless loop, or it's just gonna decay. But I'm not sure. So I think people are trying to find a way to live on digitally. If that makes sense. We're trying to figure a way to digitally get ourselves into the next plane of existence. And no longer have to stay here into this plane. We need to move into the next plane. Which is this plane here. Because the amount of light and the amount of light that's given off, or electrons, I guess, is very high. A lot higher than that of atoms. But yet, it's not significant enough to make it actually, to make matter out of it. But close. And if it was an actual atom, it would be a lot better than us as we are right now. We'd be able to regenerate. So digital, it's just better. If digital could, you'd have to read about it. But there is a fact to that. I don't know how true it is, or what the result will be. If we could actually live on through digital, like to the metaphysical, in a metaverse state. But I do wonder. But, yeah, it's crazy. Similar to the live stream, you know? Oh my god, really? And let's see what it's saying. Back online. I don't know why it always does that to me. However, so at the most basic level, all life, as well as non-living, is made up of atoms. Molecules, yep. The cell. Protoplasm. Sorry, I'm... So wait, a gene is... So your genes are bigger than your DNA? Oh boy. The ancient virus. Did you know that? So apparently 99.9% of the DNA in human beings is identical. Go figure, right? I had no idea.
Well,
That's
this
nuts.
is a fine mess.
How bad is it here?
Compared to Sector 7, we're doing fine. But that's hardly an accomplishment.
Wow. I always said she reminds me of Lulu, right? It'd be like Madam M and Lady L.
Is it true that Sector 7's pretty much destroyed?
Cause like, doesn't the play kind of remind me a little bit
Biggs too.
of like,
They were both in pretty bad shape. But
well,
White wasn't up there with
space.
them. He got out.
All right.
Let me through, damn it! Let me through! My daughter's in Sector 7!
It's almost kind of like what's beyond the curtain, you know? Like, what's beyond the atmosphere? Because we've never been beyond it. We've never left Earth's hemisphere.
Come on now.
Really.
There's no need to be afraid.
Not really. Have we? Yeah, I mean, we're skeptical
We
on
gotta
it.
go find the others.
Nobody really knows for sure.
If we don't look for them,
We think,
Great.
Hey,
but we don't know.
gonna need your help with it too.
Right.
I mean, the setup is a little different because solar systems roll around in a circle, as these seem to roll around on plates, but there is a three-prong theory that everything is sort of connected by three prongs somehow in space, but I don't know.
My ears are still ringing.
It's just kind of cool how they're very similar.
This is
The
Sector
solar
5, right?
system
So
and
where's
like
this place you said
big,
Marlene is?
Where I think she is. It's a house on the other side of town.
Well, come on then. Pick up the pace.
I'm going as fast as you are.
Oh my goodness, look at that. It's nuts, like. That's how big this place is. It's fucking nuts, man. It's huge. I mean, it just goes to show you how much space there is above it. Like, it's insane. Scope to scale, like, it's nuts. You did a really good job with that, like. Like, I mean, if this was the Milky Way, then, like, yeah, it's sort of kind of what it reminds me of a little bit. Because the Milky Way does have one area of a bunch of gas, darkness shit. Which is Pluto's area. And it also has an area that is a war-torn place that used to have life in it. Like VII. Mars. It's just crazy, like.
It was crazy. Everything on my heart is still pounding.
And then aren't there 8 reactors too? And they always said that like the planets are like usually 8 that revolve around the sun.
There was this moment, and then all of a sudden,
My very special mother gave me 8 pieces. You die. And that could happen at any second. And if it happens, you die. But you won't even know it happened if this happens.
there was this moment, and then all of a sudden,
It'll happen so fast, though, if a planet killer does happen. Which means if a meteor does decide to shoot out of the void, it gets spit out from where the fissure is. You know, where space, you know, that lake. If it shoots out a comet, which there are asteroids, debris, gas, dust being shot out of there, in and out, constantly, the predominant dark hole. The primordial void, that like primordial fissure. The source, you know, the edge, like.
That's the house.
Marlene! Marlene!
So like yeah, space has been concluded that it's flat, kind of. Starting at least. Started out flat and it sort of expanded. Flat at one point.
Where's Marlene? Is she here?
Barrett!
Sorry, I'm buried. Marlene's my little girl. Marlene, she's got short hair. She's cute as a button, with the heart of
But that means it could be no endpoint. It's finite. Space is finite.
She was
Is what I
wearing
mean.
a
She's
pink dress
sleeping
today.
upstairs.
It's all finite. Except for what,
I said she's
I guess,
sleeping.
I don't know, apparently they say that even that is finite though.
I want to see her too.
But
Come
it
on.
can't be.
Let's go look in on her.
Maybe it's not, I don't know. I don't
Keep it
think it
down.
is. The
Don't wake her.
primordial, ultra red, it's not. I think it's a primordial. Then dark matter, but I don't know why I'm talking about all this. It's just on my mind.
Marlene, my baby. Thank God.
But it's very interesting stuff when you think about the solar system. Because if you had to place solar system on a map and make an atlas, you'd have to think creatively,
She
like,
has
how
my
could you
daughter.
geography, like,
I'm sorry.
let's make it, let's sort of, like, map it out
I'm the one who asked her to go get Marlene. We'd
Can
only
you do
just
it?
met, but she was so kind and helpful. I took advantage of her.
It's not your fault. It was only a matter of time before she ended up back there.
Because she's an ancient. That it?
So she told you about that. She must trust you all a great deal.
But you didn't tell any of us that.
Yes, Aerith is an ancient. Probably the last one living. She's not my daughter. Not by blood, I mean. If that's what you were wondering. About 15 years ago. My husband, he'd been shipped off to fight on the front lines. But then I received a letter saying he'd be home for a bit. So when the day came, I went to the station to meet him. But he didn't come. I couldn't help fearing the worst, even then. But I told myself his leave must have been postponed, that he'd been delayed. Every day I went, to wait and to pray.
He never showed. 'Cause he died. In war.
And that's how I met her and her mother.
Ilfana?
I thought maybe they'd run away from Woolmarket, or that they were topsiders fallen on hard times. I'd seen that sort of thing a lot.
Ilfana.
Take Aerith somewhere safe. Those were her mother's dying words.
But return back to
My husband had been
everything
away for
returns
so
back to the
long,
system
and I was
now.
lonely. So I convinced myself the safest place for the girl was with me. It took no time at all for her to start feeling like family. She was a real chatterbox. She told me strange stories, like how she and her mother had escaped from some sort of facility, and how she wasn't sad because her mother had just returned to their planet.
Their planet, huh? Yeah, that sounds about right.
I didn't understand any of it at the time.
I'm not talking about the planet. I'm talking about the
When I
fucking
asked her if she meant
universe,
one in the
man.
sky, she said no. This one.
That's what
right here.
I'm talking about, the one out in the sky. This
I
one
mean,
right here and all the
what can you
others.
say to that?
Well, that's what I could say to that. I could say this one and all the others. We're all just waiting in a resonance. Waiting.
Don't be
Waiting
sad.
for our resonance to be complete and
That's what she
reach
said to me
harmony.
one day, out of the
And
blue.
once our resonance is in complete
So I
and total
asked her,
harmony,
"What's
we will
wrong?"
finally reach unity.
A man you really, really
A
love
harmonized
just died.
resonance will finally come until
His heart
we've
came a long way to say goodbye.
expanded
But
to
he
the
couldn't
point of
stay
it,
because he
you know,
had to return to the planet.
to a zenith. Far zenith. Where the gate closes, you know.
I didn't believe her.
The doors
of
will shut,
course.
and we will expand to
A
evaporation.
few days later, I
In other words,
received a letter
expansion
saying
to the
my
point of
husband
nothing.
had been killed in action.
You know what I mean? This is what's gonna happen, eventually. We will expand to the point of nothingness. Well, expanding to the evaporation.
Things like that. She
That's what
just
happens.
knew. It was a lot to deal with.
You just get so
but we were
flat.
happy.
It's
And
this is happening to space. It started out like a cube, and now it's gonna be like mad flat and round and nothing eventually. Imagine, right?
No! Go away!
You know you're not just any little girl. You're a descendant of the ancients.
I had no idea what he meant, so I said, "Who are the ancients?"
They were the original stewards of the planet, whose boundless knowledge and wisdom shall guide us to the promised
The
land.
people of Mars, you mean? Well, the Aztecs and Incas and
Some believe the
Mayas.
promised land to be a myth, others an allegory of sorts.
Well, that would be Mars or the moon.
But we take the words of the scriptures at face
Because a
value
meteor is
and
bound to
believe
hit
it
this
be
Earth
quite real.
eventually. And it's, you
Which
know,
is why
that
Sheila would
is
like
quite
very
real,
much for
actually.
Eric to help
You're
us.
wrong. I'm not an ancient.
Eventually a comet will hit. It's bound.
But Eric, even
There's
when
nothing we
you're
can do
all
about that.
alone, don't you hear voices whispering secrets?
It's just a part of the...
But all three
Unless
of
we
us
don't
knew
leave,
that wasn't
you know.
true. That man
We,
knew
we have to
exactly who
leave.
Earth was, where she'd come from,
Not
and
us,
what she
but
could do.
eventually we do. Figure out a way to get the fuck out.
They knew where she was, but they didn't just take her? Doesn't sound like the Turks I know.
She had to come willingly.
This world could be
otherwise it
destroyed
wouldn't
by a
work,
meteor
they
at
said.
any minute,
That's
actually.
why, even
Realistically.
if they did take her away, I'm sure
Well,
she's
really all
still being
depends
treated like a
on
guest.
whether or not we know
And
of
then they'll
it.
send her
It could
straight
be
back
too
home
late,
once they
or
get what they need.
I'll know well
I
beforehand.
don't.
That's what they say.
You're not planning anything, are you? Don't make things worse than they already are. If I lost her too, I don't know if I could ever. Just don't.
Cloud, maybe she's right about this. Maybe they'll let Aerith go when it's all over. Maybe we'd be better off waiting a little while.
Let's head back to Sector 7.
Well, anyway,
Got
so we're
things
going to
to
be
take
doing
care of.
chapter 3. This is where the chapter is going to begin. That's why I haven't been
Checking
talking.
up on the bar.
Really, because we haven't started the chapter yet, so I've been just bullshitting.
Okay.
First we're going to get a cutscene. With probably Tifa, I'd imagine, right? Oh, one of the three. I think it's going to be Tifa, though. Then ultimately our mission is to save Aerith, actually. Wait, hold on a second. Which way we gotta go? Can we get another one of this? Mythical amulet? Oh, we can. Sweet. Alright, let's get out of here.
Take care of yourselves now.
Alright, now we're gonna go check out the bar. But, if you wanna get another piece, you can do that too, but I don't really think you need to. I'll go ahead and grab it. MP up material. That's not bad. Although I've found ways to not really have to rely too much on MP or HP.
The main entrance to Sector 7 is buried under rubble now. So how are we supposed to get back inside?
Underground passage in the park.
Good plan.
But how do we get to the park?
I know another way to get there. Aerith showed me before.
This ancient girl knows her stuff. Didn't mean anything by it.
My heart is still pounding.
And for healing, I would stick a prey. Honestly, also I just got upgraded weapons, I think. Barrett's got the KG cannon equipped, right? I mean, there's a lot to Barrett to get into, and we're going to be using him a lot more now, so... As like I said, the third act of the game is about to begin. We're not up to it yet, but when the third act does begin, Barrett is pretty inclusive in most of the content, so... KG cannon does need some attack power, right? Or not even really. Magic attack is probably smarter because he heals. But Bloodsucker is good too. Alright. There's one manuscript you have to get on hard mode here in this chapter. Definitely will need to obviously head to the rubble and take care of the motherfucking experiment. Failed experiment, this. So I think like from this point forward, the world is now sort of semi-open world. Basically, everything's more or less connected, and is going to stay this way until you jump over the wall.
Over there.
And you won't be really told where to go after this point forward. Right now, they'll sort of show you the direction to go, but then after which point you'll be able to decide where you want to go. As everything's sort of interconnected. Same enemies as before, I think.
Let's keep moving.
So we gotta get through the collapse expressway and then into the rubble of 7. Quick overview of my characters. Some people say this isn't that good, actually. But I'm like SmackDown is good. But charging uppercut does help something. I'll give it a shot and see if it's any good. Just remember you're gonna fight encounters along the way, probably, because this area is littered with like drakes and fucking bandits and whatnot. And ringworm.
Take him out.
With pleasure.
Bring it.
You're up.
I got it. It's on you.
I got it. Don't overdo it.
Yes, it's your turn.
I love that. That blade beam is my favorite. And when you do learn blade beam, I highly recommend you start making use of that. As well as like Prey too, because Prey is really good. And here are ones that do some like similar types of damage are the counter stance and the EKG point blank. Both of them do similar damage, which are very heavy concentrated burst delayed damage, which means they generate like an orb, like a circular orb, and then they burst. Non-elemental, I think. There's also sweepers here too, remember?
There, that way. We'll have to fight our way through. But it's our only shot.
I've always liked the iron saber, but the mythos saber is good too, actually. We could switch it out, let's see. I really like Skill Master though, it's one of my favorites. I don't use HP up materia, if you've noticed. I really don't use that. I don't see any need to. And that's what I mean. Because it's like really like certain materia is just really good and some materia is really shitty. Like MP, like HP materia, like it's really not that good. What's so good about it? It's good for Barrett maybe, but that's it.
I won't lose.
Say goodbye.
Ain't no thing.
Let's be smart.
Easy.
That's the way to do it.
And I barely use any MP. I didn't use any MP. No problem. The question is if we could make this more powerful, which would mean I probably would have to give him something like this to make up for it. But is it worth it? I don't know. I think this might be worth it, actually.
Enough of you on you.
Bring it home.
You ready?
Hang back. Nothing to it.
That's it. I'm very quick, I know. I fight fast. But I'm an artist, what can I say?
This will be quick.
I'm waiting. Take the lead.
Yes, it's my turn. Check out this shit, up.
All set.
That it?
Yeah, that was my best work though. That's another thing too, I should probably always have Cloud put that up, honestly. Prayer is a good one to work on, honestly, I won't lie. And then, I mean, if you really want to give AT up, ATB boost is good on Barrett, but you could also give it 10 too, if you want to evenly distribute better. Because you'll definitely want to have Barrett with stiff as block, obviously. Chakra, if it's not, you level it up if it's not leveled. Then I guess that leaves only one other option. EP up, revival, ace of fist block, prayer. ATB stagger, I guess, right? Yep, probably ATB stagger. Unless it was a boss encounter, then I would probably do something different, but it's not a boss encounter, so I'm not gonna do that. Alright, that's a good setup for Mal. Let's look at the party. Miss angle, you get it. It's pretty good. Rune armor, it's not bad. Force base, it's good for Tifa. Since he's more reliant on materia anyway. And then, in terms of equipment, if we're gonna use ATV boost, then we won't need that. So. I mean, that's a pretty good stats right there. I mean, it's really good. HP up is useless, I think. But skill mastery, this is really worth working on, I think.
Here I go.
Right behind you.
Focus. Let's be smart.
Give me your best shot.
Nice deal with that.
Why now? Suck on this! I'll catch you sleeping!
I see it.
Don't you let us down!
We gotta switch it out.
All the time.
Gotta love it!
Not throwing it forward.
No escape.
About damn time!
Not looking good.
Yikes, man.
Bring it home!
I'll take over. There. This fight's not over yet. Finish him off. Got your number.
There you go. See, I don't really like. I just don't. I don't panic. You know, I really don't worry too much when I get low on HP. Just say, fuck it, man. Do whatever you gotta do to just get the damage done. You know. But personally, I think I should probably switch this up. There you go, that's better. You can still champion belt some of these guys if you want. Two, by the way.
I'm waiting. Don't overdo it.
Need my help, do you? I'm counting on you.
Taking over.
They may use your kill, but they do bind you, which is a pain in the ass, but they do it quite often. They bind the shit out of you, man.
Don't hold back. Try this. Let's finish this. Enough. Deal with that.
Yeah, I'll do it. You got this.
I got this. Watch yourself.
Hang back. Take the lead.
All right. Watch and learn.
No surprises there.
Ba-bam! See, they're just annoying because they bind you, they never stop. They just love to fucking bind you. Which in this game, to me, is the equivalent of, like, blind, I guess, kind of. Like, it's... Or stop, I don't know. It's a pain in the ass, though.
Not so fast. You want to here. Friendly order. All right. About damn time. Bang, bang. No doubt, but it's about to get real.
Keep it up.
And... we good. You could also stop them when they're on stagger too, just keep them staggered. If you didn't know that. Yes, you could halt something into stagger if you want to. I usually don't need it though. Not usually.
Finally, those assholes were really getting on my nerves.
Alright, ringworms.
Easy now.
Bring it home.
Let me... Gonna pull back.
Let's do this. Don't overdo it.
That's a
You
win.
see what I mean? Magic is insane. Well, I mean, magic damage in this game is crazy. It's crazy.
Over there.
Huh? That a way out?
I'm almost afraid to go back. To see it with my own eyes. Come on.
Alright. today. Well, what's the date? The 23rd? The 24th. No. I thought it was, I think it's the 23rd or the 24th. My phone is so fucking stupid. It says fucking, it says Wednesday, May. Yeah, okay. Oh, Wednesday, May? That's not really helpful. Wednesday, May. Fucking, I don't even know the date. I don't even fucking know what day it is. Who fucking cares what day it is? I don't even know the date. Doesn't matter if it's a motherfucking Saturday or mother goddamn motherfucking Friday. It really doesn't make a difference. I just need to know what date it is. Because that's what really matters here. It's a fucking date. The day. I mean, what are we, like fucking 10 years old? Wednesday. I mean, who cares if it's Wednesday? If it's Wednesday or if it's Sunday, it doesn't fucking make a difference, man. I want to know, is it the 24th? Is it the 26th? I mean, you just tell them if it's Wednesday. Fuck cares if it's Wednesday or not? That's irrelevant. What's relevant is the date that you need to be doing your the shit, whatever it is that you have to do. If that's the date that you gotta do it, then you gotta do it that day. If that happens to fall on a fucking weekday, it's a weekday, you know what I mean? It doesn't, you don't judge it by that, you date.
Does it look like we can go this way? No.
That's why you don't even know what the whole idea is of weekends and weekdays. I don't think there is a weekday or weekend. It's just fucking, it's a week, bro. 7 days in a week. It's just Sundays a week. Because then what's the weekend? Saturday and Sunday? I mean, some people say Sunday's the first day of the week, so.
Still in one piece?
Who else made it out?
You think they have weekends?
I wish I knew. Sorry.
It's fine.
I'm just glad you survived. Gives me hope for the others.
This is bad.
Hmm. Okay, well, it looks like fucking shit, so we have that going on. Yeah, it looks fucking terrible. But at least it's better than it did in the original game, where it was just kind of like nothing. I mean, Sector 6 now is at least being utilized, so to some degree, which I like. Actually, it's pretty cool. It's a mess though. Look at this shit.
I'll stand first watch, so you all can rest and take it easy.
Never even noticed this.
It's a miracle anyway.
It's kind of cool. They put a lot of detail into this game. And like, really.
I really hope that all my friends are okay.
I'm sure they are, honey. Don't worry.
Wow. That's so cool, the fire and shit.
This is bad.
It's so funny, he always says that, this is bad. Watch.
This is
What? Wake up, you're not sleeping. Huh? Dad's dead.
And where's brother? He's with Daddy.
They don't understand death. You go back.
Where's Daddy? He'll be back in a little bit. Huh.
Damn it all! Our family didn't deserve this!
Wow. I never really, like, actually listened to all this shit. Yikes. Oh, man, it's horrible. Damn. You hear it? I never actually, like, really listened to this shit. Wow. My family didn't... Oh, that's one's horrible. My family didn't deserve this, because that's what happened to me, so... I can relate to that. Exactly. Can't spare the go.
We'll rest.
Finally. Blake. These watch guys don't mess around, I tell you.
Would you please stop complaining? If they hadn't helped us, we'd be buried under a ton of rubble. Maybe they hooked up with another group.
Shit's a fucking mess, though, like...
So, where do we go now?
I've got an aunt in Sector 2.
Did you find your friends?
Not yet. It's a miracle anyone survived.
You want to look some more?
You know, they probably got evacuated somewhere. We're living on a if there's anything you need, don't hesitate.
What do you think happened?
They all died.
You find your friends?
Not yet.
Yikes.
God damn, this thing fell all that way?
It's a miracle anyone survived.
Right? It's crazy.
This is bad.
Alright, when you're ready, we just have to go to the, make our way to the sewers. Who is that guy? Oh, this guy. Yeah, anyway, this is the way we gotta go. If you want to stock up, I mean, there's really not much you can do on hard mode. I mean, this is hard mode, so it's really... You may just restore your HP before you get down there. And when you're ready to go down there, go down there. Alright, remember this? This area. The underground. The underground ultra. Super ultra. Well, video games are ultra, right? Yeah, this shot is not that bad, actually. It's pretty cool. I like it. I like the third act of the game, actually. It's one of my favorite acts.
Okay. Let's see what's on the other side.
Pretty impressive end game, I gotta say. pretty climatic, I'd say.
Fresh air.
And it still hasn't reached its biggest climax yet.
Listen, Sector 6 is right over there.
And make a note of this area too, because you'll be coming back here later to get manuscripts. So we have to fight the behemoth down here. And it also intertwines the rubble of Sector 7, 6, and 5 all together, sort of, somewhat. So, well, you have the Sector 6 collapse, the 7 rubble, then the playground, which is also Sector 6, and then 5, Sector 5, and then, you can only go to Sector 8 once. You can't really go to 2 or anything. Sector, and then Sector, I don't know what the fuck Wall Market is. It's like, Sector, kind of like Sector 3. It reminds me of Sector 3. But I'm not 100%.
That one was a lot closer.
Hello! Is there anyone out there that needs some help?
This area here is a one-time area thing. It's a one-time area, the Sector 7 salons, I think. I think you can come back, though, to the ruins, though, I think. Pretty sure. To the underground research facility, that is. Which is exactly what's underneath Sector 7. A research facility.
With me. Ready?
But the game is, like I said, the story is a little bit longer, actually, this time around. Like, more events, actually. There's, like, a lot more content that actually happens. That unfolds, as opposed to the original game.
I can't tell you how
Like, the original game, it seemed to have scaled down a 40-hour experience, summing up in, less than 10 hours.
Been back to the bar yet?
Which means they had to cut a lot of shit out.
Okay. First the bar, then the rest.
Careful. The roads are a mess. Watch your step or you'll wind up in a hole.
And therefore,
Hello! Anybody out there? If you can hear me, say
a lot of the details that may be presently seen or noticeable within this Final Fantasy game that you may haven't, or I should say, haven't seen since Final Fantasy X or 13, I guess. Is because 15 was such an ordeal, but and I guess it's also because the staff, the team who made 7, sort of pretty much were able to come back together, the Division 1 team, to make this game. And for better or for worse, even if they're continuing it on the PS5, it's still going to be the same game, at least when Rebirth comes out. As far as I know, I mean, they didn't release much of Rebirth, but I know... I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, honestly, I think that... personally, I think she kind of has to, doesn't she? And if she doesn't, then I think everybody's gonna die.
That little girl's a hell of a lot.
And then there's also a connection between, well, we know that Ten and, Spira and Gaia are connected. We all know that. I mean, you know, as far as Yoshinori Kitase is concerned, he's the one who sort of inspired the two. He really wanted to push them, like, you know. I think it was his idea all along, really, like, he kind of really loved 10 and he loved 7. He really wanted them to be connected. I think that's his plan, I guess. I mean, 13 was like in my opinion, 13 was a failed attempt at what they had done with this game. It's like, they tried to do it with 13 and they kind of didn't do a good job. Like, it wasn't that it had a bad story, it didn't have a bad story, it was just, what am I doing? It was that, it was to, yeah, you play 13, you'll see what I mean. Story's great, but it's just, something's not right with it. Like 15, something's just not right, something's off. It's a great game, but there's something off. It's not like 10. Or 12, Final Fantasy 12. Final Fantasy 12 is a little bit different. Can't really put my finger on that, but I don't really kind of, I don't know how to explain that.
If you can hear me, shout!
But you know, Evil East games, they're a little different. Matsuno games.
Can you hear me?
16 is supposed to be a lot, I don't know, 16 looks pretty good actually. It looks different. Something that we've never seen before. Like, the way Final Fantasy should be. You know, like the way it was back in the day. Like when 10 came out, it was fucking groundbreaking. When 7 came out, it was groundbreaking. Or when 1 came out, it was groundbreaking. Like, with 16, I see it, I'm like, this shit's fucking groundbreaking. This is not just a game. Shit's a fucking game changer. That's why I'm pretty excited for 16. Well, and Rebirth too, but Rebirth is still gonna follow the normal format of what JRPG. But 16 is taking a whole new approach on gaming. It's pretty big what they're doing there. I'm just giving them benefit of the doubt, you know. That 16 is gonna be taking a huge approach to changing everything up. Everything. You know, I mean, like, it got Final Fantasy got caught into the niche of being an RPG, but it was not supposed to be an RPG. It was just supposed to be a game for every fucking person. It's supposed to be like the game of like the ultimate game, the ultra game. You know, the best game ever made before they went out of business. It just got stuck into the RPG category because that is the best gaming. It's just the best type of game is RPGs and action games. They're the two best games. So, therefore, best Final Fantasy game realistically in the future of it, it's not RPG, it's going to be action RPG probably. Two best elements, right?
1, 2, 3.
Action, RPG, and shooter games. Usually those are the best ones. Which ones do I like the best? Probably action RPGs. I don't know, action RPGs are great.
Is this all that's left of Wedge's place?
Leaning more towards action as we develop, you know? Because we're not dumb. We should be able to figure things out. That's why 16 is taking the approach, like, well, let's give them the talismans to use on the get-go, and then sort of, like, allow them to sort of experiment with them as they go along. Not as a crutch, but as a way to sort of experiment with how you want to play the game. You know, they even give you an option to start it on story or action. Most people would probably pick story, because that's what I'm trying to go for when you go for a first playthrough. Second playthrough, action. I always do that, though. The whole idea, I think, with games is to not limit the player. You know, people don't want to be told what to do. You know, they don't want to be like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. People want to have the freedom, but yet also want a constructed narrative, and this is not an easy thing. You know, I'm a writer. it's fucking hard. You know, I mean, like right now, I might not want to fucking do this. I want to go somewhere else, but I can't. Gotta follow this path. So how do we do this? It's not easy. You gotta balance. There's gotta be a balance. This has a good balance, I won't lie, but you gotta not let me, let's address the elephant in the room. The Midgar is just, it's fine because it's self-contained and it's got a good narrative. It's got a perfect 3-act part. It's 3 acts. It's good. It breaks out perfectly. But what they were able to pull off was a miracle, I guess, in my opinion. Story-wise, yeah, it's fine. They could have did 13 with this, basically. But they didn't. They were able to manage to make this a thriving Midgar. Like a real testament to what it should have been, like, or what it could have been back in the day. And then when I saw how good this game was, I'm like, I'd be talking more about Rebirth. We don't have much information on it. I think it's going to be coming tomorrow, maybe, actually. I might be getting some information on it. But, yeah. Rebirth, all I know is that I know Sephiroth was walking with Cloud. I saw that. I think a few people saw that. But the bigger challenge, I think, is going to be how to allow players the freedom of control while constructing a narrative that's, well, constructive, that's fucking neat. You don't want the narrative to be messy, but you also don't want it to you don't want it to feel too, like, confined, People don't like that. Because it makes something feel like it doesn't have any meaning. Because what's the point of something if you can't go back to it, and you can't redo it? But then why go back to it if there's no reason to do so in the first place, right? So there's always trying to figure out a reason as to why we're doing it, the objective, how we do it, why we do it, the way we do it, our attitude, how we go about it, our ability, how good we do it, so on and so forth. And of course motivation. How motivated are you to even want to do it? These are all things that you should think about, right? Because, motivation is sort of what gives you the drive to do something. Whereas the ability is what sort of, well, skill, I guess. The skill is what gives you the ability to do it. And then, the attitude. Which dictates how you do it. Or how well you do it, How well something is performed. I shouldn't say how well, or just, I guess I could say how, I guess, I don't know. Because how you go about it is usually based off of attitude. Like, I could be mad negative right now as I play the game, but I'm taking my time right now. Like, in other words, I'm taking a very casual approach to, like, to this right now. I'm just like, whatever, fuck it. So, I generally take a casual approach, though, well, See that? I love that thing. Yeah. Like, you don't really get to see because the numbers are pop. They go by so fast. But if you do pay attention, and that's that's another reason why I like to stream my content, because it allows me to get to look at them. The numbers, they come up really quick. But then sometimes you wonder, are the numbers really that important? It's the number, right? So long as we're not at 0 and we're not gone, we'll be fine. We just want to make sure we get them down, and we're still, you know, kicking, and we have the ability to get back on our feet. I always found the best way to do this is to just fucking increase your damage output. Bugaboo. They were from the original game. At Mount Nebo, I think. No, Coral. Alright, so Barrett's got that gimmick going on. I think this is our first time actually hands-on controlling Barrett outside of combat. It's a pretty cool accessory, I think, but I don't know if you can get two of them. I'm not sure. I wonder if they're going to continue to use the crates in the future. I would imagine so. Probably, yeah. I wonder how they came up with that idea. The crates. The Mako crates. It's kind of cool. It's a cool idea, but I wonder how they came up with it. It's similar to how the benches seem to be reminiscent of the save points of the original game. It's weird. Just like this area looks a lot like the flashback of Mount Nebo when we fought the Materia Keeper.
How long did it take him to build all this?
You'll see. When we get to the failed experiment, that is. Wait, I'm dead, by the way. I'm dead. That's so fucking funny. That's actually so funny. I'm just like, who cares? Doesn't matter. Ha!
That was educational.
It was, right? That's what I'm saying. But we held our own. We used our reprieve. We used everything we needed to do. We did fine. I didn't even block either. I was like, screw it. Doesn't matter. That's almost leveled up. We're good. Though, you should probably throw in call bubble so you don't die. Let me get the barrier material, but the barrier material, you never find it very useful. I'm gonna try to make more use of it, but I just never find it useful. Maybe it's just me, I don't know. I was thinking like switching up his shit, but ice is actually strong here for this, I think, right? Or is it lightning? I don't no, it's ice, right? Ice, yeah, ice. set up Tifa too while you're at it. We have her set, right? HP absorb. This coincides with the damage you're dealing. I'm gonna really work on the other HP absorb, that's the thing. What I really think is a cool one here is poison, HP absorb, because that's kind of what its sole purpose is meant for. Especially if it's synergized. Because it's the 30% of the damage you deal. Problem with bio is that it takes a long time for it to start up, that's the thing. Alright, now I gotta just drop the crane. There's a chest here with 2 mega potions in it. Why is there 2 of them there? I get that. More bugaboos, and there's the behemoth that we have to fight. Not yet, but eventually. That's the problem with charging uppercut. Is it has a hard time hitting very often. Wait, what did it just gain HP from? Oh, right, yeah, the bloodsucker, that's right. That's why I get bloodsucker. Bloodsucker's actually really useful. I always forget about bloodsucker. I'm like, yeah, that's right, bloodsucker. Like I said, out of all my Final Fantasy game experiences, this is one of the best ones. 10 is still up there, I think, and 12, but this is close. Maybe this is because it's only because it just came out when I was older, that's all. So, of course, when I was younger, everything was more fantastical and wide, you know. But objectively, as a man, yeah, this is like fucking top-notch, great Final Fantasy. Like, this could be, like, this is probably really just as good as 10 was when it came out. Like, this is really top tier. It's as good as it gets, you know. I mean, you're getting like even just saying it's a good game. This is what a real good Final Fantasy experience is, more or less. Unlike Kingdom Hearts 3 is an example of what is not a good experience. It's not like 2 was, or Chrono Trigger, or whatever. You can't compare it with the greats, you know. This, though, you can. This is one of the greats, that's why. This game is pretty big, so... You could only hope the best for Rebirth, right? And yeah, I do know that Aerith is most likely. I would imagine that the events of the first game are still inevitable to happen. They have to. It's something that has to be done by choice this time. Not by Sephiroth's blade, but I think Aerith has to sacrifice herself by choice, if you know what I mean. So this time it's not really by Sephiroth's hand, it's almost like by her own. She has to make a sacrifice. EKG added. Make our way through. See that? It's awesome. I always look at point blank as like the counter stance for Barrett. Kind of.
You really want to throw down with me? I'm coming for you! Oh yeah, another one.
And also like the live stream and also like Pyroflies, you're pretty much identical.
Just no escape in the mist there.
Though 15, no, it was not right. That wasn't like that. That's what I noticed about 10 and like 7. They both have that same weird like disintegration. When an enemy dies, they turn into like sparkling dust. And they make the same noise. They're like meow.
I'm really going to enjoy burning it all down.
We're gonna have Tifa in the group in like a second. So I would recommend you have your Tifa build set up, ready to go. If you don't have a Tifa build, we'll make one. I have one. Because I have like a really cool, I love this combination. The synergy poison, while also healing from it. It's pretty cool. It also means that he periodically heals from that, like it's kind of cool. Steadfast block, skill master, lock up. He doesn't need lock up though, it's just for damage reasons. But refocus could be good for him. In a drawn out encounter, that is, though, but. Yeah, healing Garson is good if we're gonna give him prey, right? Because Cloud's not here, so give him the chain bangle. I think that's how I'm gonna do it, like this. Because this, it's good. Poison. But it deals a large amount of non-elemental damage for only 15 MP. Like, you usually don't pay that much for a heavy amount of magic damage. Like a typical spell, arrow, right? Let's see, Bazaga's 21. That's a lot. That means a huge save. That's why I said Bioga is actually pretty good. Oh shit. We have elemental too, right? We have to use. Forgot we have all the stuff we have to use still. Elemental, I guess lightning. No, but ice. But it doesn't really make a difference because we have the enemy skill, so. But we still do more damage than that way, so that's a good thing. In fact, I'd rather just have her immune to lightning damage. Honestly, I really want to get started on this. It's so long. It takes so long to learn. to finish, you know, and master it. So I'm gonna put an AP up on the elemental because I really want to get this mastered up. I'm just gonna clear my slots because we have a boss fight coming up, and I just want to make sure everybody's set up for the boss. But for now, though, I'm just gonna do. I guess he'll be the main like tank DP. I guess tank, right? So tank. HP absorb, lightning materia, and then and like I said, I really seem to get benefit from barrier, but I could try it. I mean, it's not like I have anything to lose. Rare. Steadfast block is another really good one too, by the way. And skill masters, another good one. So if you hadn't worked on that yet, I'd start working on that now. Revival is just a luxury that you should probably have. I would recommend. Alright, and let's make sure we got our deadly dodge, we got our luck up. First strike is always helpful, but it's not the best thing, but it's good. It'll help. ATB assist is good. Then for him, I think we go do elemental lightning. Oh, I guess elemental ice in this case, right? We're not to the fight yet, so. Does this last long enough for it to actually be worth it? I'm gonna try something though. I'm gonna see if it might be worth it if I give him the enchanted ring. And for now, I think that looks good for me. But I feel like this is wrong, though. I don't know. Charging uppercut is not as good as I may have what it was originally. But it is integral to his moveset if you're gonna use it. It's weird. Let's keep going. This way we'll meet up with Tifa, but we have everybody set up, so we're good.
Tifa! Hey! Tifa! Okay! I got you!
Oh, also, I wanted just to go into the system real quick. Go to options, and just go to gameplay. And I also want to change some other things too. I didn't know they had all this stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna like this though. I might not. You would think you'd want the camera to be close out of battle, right? And then the camera to be distant in battle because you need to see the enemies and shit. I don't know. But if it's true what they say that the AI really does focus on the character controlled party members, so you know your character, the one you're controlling, it makes sense that you'd want it to be close. So. Why did they make this so hard to understand? They should have made this a little bit more. I don't know, they could have did a better job with explanation. Enable target switching when performing a combo using attack. Cannot be used while locked on. It's not very, it doesn't explain itself very well. Even the lock on, it's like, what is this? Yeah, but why? Then what is the point of it then? If it doesn't follow it, it's not really a lock on then, is it?
Give your best shot.
Alright. Right now, I just gotta make our way over, and then we meet with Tifa, I think. Wait, we gotta go this way, though, right? The Bugaboos. Wait, I have him. How do we get over there? Oh, we're heading the right way.
I don't know.
Well, he can take care of himself. We've got bigger issues.
Unbridled strength is undoubtedly one of our best abilities. See how much damage she does when she uses unbridled strength?
Alright, gotta go find Wedge. Come on.
It's crazy.
Suck on this! Suck on this!
They're gonna probably give you ice materia, so you may as well start equipping it now because they're gonna give it to you anyway. I just don't see it being that useful, that's all. Revival I see being useful. Refocus for the boss encounter. Enemy skill, it's not gonna be really necessary. Magic is good for him.
I'm afraid to ask, but did you just shoot your way in here?
Okay. Work, didn't it? Check out this. I'm counting on you.
Alright, so the materia keeper, like I said, it's a lot like, well, the failed experiment is like the materia keeper, basically, it's the same thing. More or less. Free materia. Nice little orb of that beauty. Ice, baby, ice. Damn, this place is like really dank. That can make things really easy too. It could trivialize the entire encounter, really. And then, I guess, I usually have Tifa and jurisdiction for haste, really. For the most part, she's the one I usually have with haste. Alright, and then with all that out of the way, we're all ready to go, right? Yep, I'm in good shape. It's weird that they have spells here, and yet, like, over here, then they have an area called spells. I don't really get that. What's the point of that? If they already have an area for spells. And where's the area for other things? Where are weapon abilities? I don't get it. Why do they have a thing called spells? That's weird. Spells? What about them? You already have that. Like, look, battle settings. It's already explained. I don't know why they have that. Spells. It's weird. You don't use spells like that. I don't understand that. Maybe if it would have said abilities, then you could just see every single kind of ability, but... This makes it confusing, because then you have this thing called party, right? And then party gives you pretty much everything you need to know. Limit, abilities, spells, it tells you what it does. The only thing it doesn't do, it doesn't tell you the cost. But yet it tells you everything that you need to know. And then I go and look at spells, and you can see the cost. And then you could also see the text, so I don't really get it. What was the point? I feel like this is a wasted effort. There's really no reason for it. I mean, honestly, like, why? Why everything just for spells? I already have that. That's here. That would be in party. See, each character has ability spells. All you just gotta do is put the amount, and then there you go. I don't know why they did that. That's kind of weird. The fuck is the point of the spells menu? I mean, it's like the only difference is like that's it. The only difference is that it doesn't tell you how much it costs. Some they tell you. It's just weird that they didn't. I don't get that. Ascension delivers successive powerful strikes. So it's like a shitload of bravers. Honestly, if you use Infinity's End, you're a fucking douche. You're a dumbass. Oh, I'm a dumbass. If you use Blade Burst, then you're probably like awesome sauce. If you use Double Cut, you're the best. Cause Disorder and ATB Boost are all like... self-destruct. So they don't really have the same like thing they usually have in games. They usually have a normal like wording. Like usually it's small, large, and moderate, right? This does seem to have that. It says small, moderate, large. This is in reference to magic, but when it comes to other things, this is damage, I guess, but there's also pressurized attacks, and then there's other types of attacks too. There's damage on contact. Dive kick. It's called powerful. Then there's also a charge attack. And then it's a DO, damage on contact is another one they do. Damage on contact. Yeah, I'm gonna probably, I mean, I haven't done this on hard mode in a long time, so I don't really remember 100% what I have to do. Being honest, but I'm imagining if we just null out the lightning, we'd be fine. You can just easily pass through with no problem. Alright, we're all set. And we'll be fine. I haven't did it in a while, but we should be alright. We will learn.
If I gotta climb another damn ladder.
Think fast! Gotcha! Give him your all! Good luck!
Alright, watch it learn.
Yeah.
I got Finish him off! Give him hell!
We'll get through this. That's a problem. Mind taking over?
You need it, huh? Come on!
Come on!
Bang, bang!
Gotcha!
Jump on this!
No more games! It's over! No more
Hurry up!
Woo, man.
You would say that.
I don't remember if I assist this guy or not. I don't remember. I'm not sure. Did I? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't remember if the boss uses, I don't even know if he uses his fucking status effects, I'm not even sure. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, I don't remember. Because at this point now, they're not fucking around. They want you to know what you're doing, you know? Hold on one second. What am I looking for here? The arsenal specimen? No. What am I looking for? Vogelpolis. Fuck. What is it called? It's a fucking... a specimen, right? Wait. It's immune to slow stop, but not silence. And it absorbs lightning. It's weak to ice, but it's got a great resistance to sleep, but consider use, so... I'll give it the. I'm gonna give him prayer. Skill is good for him because he's gonna naturally use 3 different commands anyway, so. And I would definitely have somebody with revive. If you don't have someone revive, then put revive out. And if anything, like I said, have somebody with the regular healing command. Somebody should have it. I don't know whom. And like I said, synergy is good, but right now I don't think we should really use it. We don't need to. Or then we don't use HP absorb, but since HP absorb still needs to be used, I may as well use that right now. Ice on that though. Refocus is good for him too. Lock up is actually also good for him. Steadfast block, definitely want that out. Definitely want that. Alright, now once you're ready to go, just make sure you have your elemental slotted into your lightning. You should be alright, I think. I mean, that's how I look. I mean, I'm not like anything crazy here. I'm gonna increase the amount of magic damage we could deal, so... give someone time. I'd give Tifa time materia because it fits in really well with her. This is a perfect setup, honestly. Well, not perfect, but it'll do. But we don't have Cloud, so right now it should be fine. I just want to have the parry material on because it's important. This isn't Cloud, remember, this is Tifa. That's what makes this a little different. Cloud uses the enemy skill, that's the one who uses that. He uses parry. Then I guess we'll do HP absorb parry.
Wedge is holding up okay?
Of course he is. He's a lot tougher than people think. Probably sleeping soundly, dreaming about his cats.
We should treat him to more heal if it gets bad. His
You ain't going to let up now!
Really? This fight's not over yet. Gonna pull back.
All right, watch and learn. Here it comes. Catch you sleeping.
Too late.
Ain't no plan. Don't stop till it's done.
Would kill for sure.
I do that every single time, all the time. Always do that. I was just like slam face, man, every time. I could see there being some potential on MP up material, I guess, though. Ah, man.
Need my help, do you?
That's the way to do it.
Gotta stay on my toes if I'm gonna make it out of here alive.
rest up, and then we'll get ready for the big encounter with the failed experiment. And then we will pretty much signify the end of the second act, more or less, and the beginning of the third act. Or at least the start of it. It's the beginning of the third act, and it's not, you know? Like I said, lightning elemental for this fight can pretty much take care of most of his thing's attacks. I know that almost guarantee. There's gonna be roughly 2 phases, I think, right? I'd rather just do nothing and just have this. I'll show you. Like, I mean, honestly, which one should you bring out? I think they all have good uses, but Shiva's not my favorite, honestly. I don't like Shiva that much. Shiva's alright. I like Leviathan, but you can really fit it hardly anywhere. Do you think Bahamut could be able to be fit, though? Let's see.
He's okay.
You sure? Making me worry like that. I'd kick your ass if you didn't look like shit.
Thank you. Okay, let's go.
Sure. Yeah, it's you, all right.
What is this? Barret!
Alright, so these things are gonna be the unknown entities. I'm sure you know who's seen these for. I handle these pretty simple. I just use Algador. Dish out damage while absorbing damage.
We can do better.
Guess it's my turn.
Some people say this is better though. I don't think it's better. There's no lock on then. Don't people realize that this is an RPG game? I don't think people realize that. I'm gonna just show you an example of what I mean. It's an RPG game. This is not really an action game. Or it is, but it isn't. Like, if there is no... In other words, this means there is no lock on. What that means... Basically, he says either you take lock on off, or you could remove it and it doesn't lock on anymore. You could either have lock on, or you could have hard lock on or soft lock on. Target lock on, or you know, auto lock on. But basically, you're really switching it on or off, because you can't really lock on if you can't. Oh, well, I guess you can't lock on. You can't lock on. Can't lock on to something and still have access to your camera. How would you lock on to it? Your camera would still be able to... In other words, the camera doesn't lock on. Doesn't lock on. And you still can't control your camera, but you still can't lock on. It doesn't lock on. The camera doesn't lock on. It doesn't do shit actually. It's just if you correct your camera, it'll say locked on, but that's it.
Okay, let's go.
Unless you have it set to fixed and locked on, but it doesn't make any sense the way they had it. It's all fucking wacky. But realistically, they should have either had lock on or off, and then had the ability to be able to do... First of all, I don't see why you can't just have the lock on, have it where you
What is this?
press the button and it'll immediately change the camera pan right over to the lock on. And then you can adjust the camera as you go fit. I don't get that. Because the other one's not going to work. It's a materia keeper. The materia keeper. Do-do-do.
Shinra experiments?
Well, if that's the case, then it's only right we put the bastard down.
Nothing to worry about.
About damn time.
Nothing to worry about.
See the difference?
Bring it home.
Let me handle it. There! Aha, watch yourself.
Need my help, do you?
All set.
Coming for you.
Much better. That's because it actually does lock on.
Of course there's more.
You good?
Like you even gotta ask.
You're up.
Guess it's my turn. Suck on this.
We keep going up like.
Okay, cover me.
Alright, Tifa's out of our. We'll be fine. We can't even get damage, bro. Hardly. Should be fine. I think I'll be fine. I think. I don't want to underestimate him though. Oh, nice. I love the flip though. It was awesome. Nice fucking shit, bro. Nice calisthenics, I gotta say. Nicely done. Oh my god, oh my. Third strike is good. I think I'm gonna still go with the revive though. I've come to see revival is better than anything else actually. Alright, here we go.
Are they Shinra experiments?
Well, if that's the case, then it's only right we put the bastards down.
Nothing to worry about.
You got this!
Alright. Now more of these things come out. Until they form one entity.
You good?
Like you even got a head.
Nothing to worry about. Come on! Watch yourself!
Guess it's my turn. So now, I'm coming for you.
Let's turn it up.
Suck on this! Getting real tired of this shit.
This is ridiculous.
We gotta close that shut. Chief, you're up.
Okay, you see, you heard him.
Cover me. Got your number.
We gotta close that shut. Chief, you're up.
Alright, first though, you want to make sure that
Okay, cover me. We can do better. I have to get up there.
alright. And then a dope ass flip. And a nice pair of tits to go with it there, man.
It's using its friends as weapons?
Hey, Keeper, heads up! You're about to get it all.
Yikes. I think you have to do something with the appendage in order to put it into stagger.
To deal with these three. Suck on this! competition.
The big one's the only one that matters!
Now we can concentrate on the victory. This guy really wants to see us dead.
Bring it!
Jelly? Kiss my ass! We still got a job to do. Back to the limit. Gotta love it. Damn it. That sure looks like sweet one to me. So now, here it comes.
You ready? Bring it! There! I see it! Big gonna teach you a lesson.
Check out this shit right here.
And that is how you fucking slay a motherfucker down.
You're right.
Late to the party and you giving me orders? Hell yeah! How'd you manage to track us down?
Followed the trail of bullet holes. There's nobody else I know who can leave that kind of mess.
And ba-boom. He's like, I don't know who could leave that many bullet holes. You know, honestly though, I feel like this is a perfect addition. You know, for at least filling up 40-hour story content. I mean, you're trying to get a 3-act, you know, a 3-act show, you know what I mean? A 3-act play, as they call it. And they definitely met the bar here. They definitely met the bar. The bar was met. Well, we'll see how Rebirth does, right? Only Rebirth will tell the future how good it will really stand, or if 16 will overshine. I don't know. Only time will tell.
Oh God.
An enigma. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Rest assured, I know.
You see, this isn't revealed to us until much later in the game, so.
We need to get him somewhere safe. Everything else can wait until after.
Agreed. Let's go.
And we got Big. Oh, there we go. We got Wedge and his cats.
Cloud.
Bigums and the rest of them.
Good kitty.
Tut. What else are you gonna say? Alright, now that Cloud's back though, we are in good position. Good favor for us to be in because we don't have much MP, but the chapter is pretty much at a close now. We're gonna get treated to some pretty cool shit. The next chapter is gonna have a bit more optional stuff to do, so it gets a bit more interesting, right? But like I said, once you have revival material, you don't have to worry that much. Because this is going to conclude the chapter today on the STEELEPLAY for Final Fantasy VII Intergrade Chapter 13, right? Broken World. We'll be ending it probably at the special conclusion that we'll be getting. Let's just set my Cloud up again. Give Cloud your first strike. Give him... Magnify, healing, yep. It doesn't have to have that though. Because Magnify time is actually more useful anyway. With the proper revivals, that is. Perfect. Magic Eye Tifa. We don't need her with that also. We just have to get her with HP absorb and stuff. I feel like everybody could use steadfast block at this point. It's a 10% reduction. It's useful. I begin to use the healing material less and less now. I just didn't use it. I don't need to. Hardly. I really don't use the healing material a lot. Not as much as I used to. Alright, and with that, we're ready to go. It's a wild gun, man, isn't it? A wild looking gun.
I want you to take Wedge back from me. I'm gonna look around for the others. He made it, didn't he? They can still be alive.
I saw them both at the pillar. Jesse and Biggs. Saw how bad they were hurt. I'm sorry, but...
Don't.
They've returned to the planet.
They They were supposed to return to us. But if we stop now, they'll never let us live it down. So, we carry that weight.
Well, guys, thanks for watching. That was chapter 13 on hard.
I truly am.
Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content in the stream, and join me in my next Steel Play coming up for chapter 14 as we pick up from where we left off.
Elmira,
I do appreciate all the support, and as always, like I said, keep it gaming and keep it safe until my next Steel Play.
This wasn't the first time, and it won't be the last. I know these people, and I know they're never gonna let Aerith go. She's the last living ancient on the planet. Think about what that means to Shinra's scientists.
So, until then,
especially to that son of a bitch Hojo.
I'll see you guys on the flip side. Well, I gotta always say, keep it gaming, keep it safe. Like and subscribe, because it means a lot. Thanks, guys.
Please, I need some time to think. You've all had a long day. Why don't you go upstairs and get some rest?
Exactly. And then, join me in my next episode where we will... I may as well cover the special scene. And that's where I'll probably conclude. So I'm gonna be shutting my mic off now, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the visual guide, though. And this is where my my visual my playthrough comes to an end. So let's see which one we got. I bet you we got Tifa, but my money's on Tifa. Let's see if I'm right or not. Looks like we almost got Barrett, though, right? I saw Barrett sleeping, so let's see what happens. I don't know. All I know is that I won't be talking anymore. My commentary is done until my next Steel Play, so... Until then... Enjoy the cutscene, guys. You've earned it, right? It's Tifa. However, that is supposed to be the canonical scene, so... It's the natural progression. It's the natural progressive scene that you're supposed to get. Mainly. So. Kudos.
Can't sleep?
No. You too?
I heard footsteps.
Sorry. Didn't mean to wake you.
I'm a light sleeper. It's a soldier thing.
That flower you gave me the other night, that was from Aerith, wasn't it? I knew there was something weird going on. You buying flowers? They symbolize reunion, believe it or not. I was curious, so I looked it up. I tried to keep it alive as long as I could. But now, it's dead and buried. Like the bar. Our home. And everything else. They took everything from us. Again. Cloud.
Huh?
Cloud, you're hurting me. It's stupid. I know that crying's a waste of time.
That's not true.
Wait, was she being serious, or was she just being like, you're hurting me, as in, like... I think she was just being like, oh, you're holding me too hard. Like, as in, a joke.
You've done more for us than we deserve.
Cause that's her boyfriend, you know?
If you ever need anything, all you gotta do is holler.
Don't forget that, you know.
Happy to help
Cloud
out.
doesn't remember, but Tifa does. And Tifa knows that that's her boyfriend.
I've been thinking about what you
So,
said.
and her boyfriend is acting really weird ever since she
She's
last
calling
saw him.
out to me. I can feel it.
And she doesn't like this, because her boyfriend is basically interested in another girl, and he doesn't know how to...
We have to help her.
Yeah, you just want to get your guy back, but I get it. It's weird, though, because her boyfriend has a fucking mental
I
illness.
always knew it was coming.
Because of the...
I'd have to say
Because of
goodbye to
the
her.
experiment he was involved
But not
in.
yet. Please, bring her back to me.
Well...
Daddy!
Marlene.
Are you going?
So yeah, all this will be covered up in my next STEELEPLay coming. So stick around and keep Final Fantasying, my friend.
But if I stay here,
Final
I can't fight
Fantasy.
out there.
Gotta get to that final frontier, right?
I try not to plan.
Final Fantasy.
And Daddy has plans to stop those bad people. The slums, your friends, the whole planet. It's Daddy's job to protect it.
The whole planet. What? Instead of the planet, what about the universe?
And that's why I've got to go. You remember that nice girl who came to find you? Well, now we have to go find her. And when we bring her home, you need to say thank you, okay?
Okay. That girl, she was kinda...
What?
nothing. You should help her.
We will.
You'll come back, right?
Of course.
Okay. You can go.
Eric.
She's tougher than me. Alright, time to get some payback.
Don't forget why we're doing this.
I know. To rescue Aerith.
Alright, guys.
So, how are we supposed to get
Until
topside?
then,
With everything that's
join
happened
me
to
in
the
my
trains
next,
that aren't running.
my next
Well,
stream.
we could walk along the tracks.
The city's on high alert. All the roads and public transit have probably been locked down by now.
So what's the plan then?